to another episode of the Home Turf Podcast. This is episode 37. We've been out of it for 2 weeks. We're back, and we're ready to attack the big 3-7. Before this, I was doing some research, and I was like, you know what? Let's look up some, who are some, the good athletes who work there on the 37? I don't know any of them. There's, one looked familiar, because I think I played with them on Madden before. Ronnie Harrison. Y'all heard of him?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Sounds familiar, right? I think he was one of them old safeties. Played defensive player. I think he played for the Steelers, actually. Look that up. Ronnie Harrison.
Rodney Harrison. He definitely played for the Patriots at one point.
He played for the Patriots? Okay.
Let's see. I mean, he may have played also.
Jimmy Johnson wore number 37.
I don't think it's a Jimmy Johnson we're thinking of.
Rodney,
that was a cornerback.
He played for... he was the safety for the Chargers and the Patriots. Wow, that Chargers-Patriots pipeline. Got Junior Seau, too. Recipes.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's literally no one. I think Giannis's little brother wears number 37.
Lester Hayes.
Thanai.
Yeah, I think he wears 37. Other than that,
professional hype man.
Yeah. But a lot has been going on these past 2 weeks. Ever since Emily's been on the podcast, I think the last time she was on the podcast, it kind of went downhill for base. I was kind of at the bottom.
Whoa! Said Emily's joined, and
now Emily's back.
This podcast has gone downhill. But during that whole break,
when Emily wasn't here, the baseball team's been hot. They've been, not hot, but they've been winning series.
You can give me your mic now.
Okay, but
this is when I'm going to ask for you to leave. So.
Well, for the sake of the baseball team.
Every single game I've ever covered for baseball, they've won. They are undefeated.
And I am on a 4-game losing streak.
So if anyone should leave, he should not be allowed to cover baseball
I was scheduled for the Friday game this series, and I moved it to Sunday because we have not won a series in our last 12 where we've lost the first game. So I'm doing my Scouts honor and not...
you should be doing your Scouts honor and quitting and never coming back.
No, because I am selfish and
wow.
lose or win. The more if I keep writing about the baseball team, the more articles I get in my portfolio.
Hunter,
so
I love that. That was a big move you made.
Coach Schlossnagel
sends
his
appreciation.
I
told Emily
for the good of the team.
This podcast, I was like, look, you've been hot. Baseball's been hot, and you haven't been on in a couple episodes.
Sorry, when did you say this?
I told you this before. It was during the meeting. Yeah, you weren't listening. You're listening to whatever Midwest emo band. Was it back front or back bottom?
Sure, yeah.
Back bottom girls.
No, yeah. We played a little snippet of it during the meeting, and it was awful. However, they're coming off a big series win. A big win against, Prairie View A&M. We can talk about that.
Do we have to?
Before... we don't have to.
Yeah, it was a midweek win.
That's what you should have done to the Prairie View team.
Well,
yeah, going down 3-0 was not.
Kind of
a little scary there at the beginning.
I was watching. So I've been grinding. I've been watching the Stros, but then other than that,
I'm sorry.
A&M baseball, of course. But this past week or so, I started Succession. Have y'all seen that on HBO Max?
I don't watch anything in sports.
Cool. It's a sick show. Y'all gotta watch it. So, and I was getting a notification. I saw, dude, they're down 3-0. So I was like, I'm just gonna put my phone away. An hour later, I check again. It's 13-3. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, what happened?
10 runs in the fourth inning. Caden Kent hit a 2-run bomb. Then Brett Minnick hit a grand slam. And Jordan Thompson hit a 2-run bomb.
Brett Minnick.
Jordan Thompson absolutely pimped his home run.
441.
Sick. Oh.
Did he bat flip?
Yeah, he did bat flip. He stared at it.
Did he backflip?
Bat flip.
Did he back?
He did. He did.
He did do a backflip.
It was a series all the way,
all the way around the bases. Did a backflip.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It was really impressive.
He gwittied into the dugout.
Gwittied to the dugout. That's wittily wild.
But that Caden Kent's been on a really good.
He's gonna be.
He's great
well,
season. Honestly,
yeah, he has.
Won an award,
he's gonna be good.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Just find where to put him.
Exactly, Coach. I asked Coach Schloss after the game. I was like. Asked him why Jason didn't play. He just said he wanted to get Caden some at-bats because he hasn't been playing much these past 3-4 weekends just because,
it's good. Good thing he wasn't hurt.
There's not a spot for him in the lineup, but, someone goes down. Caden's that next guy. He talks about Caden as he's their emergency catcher actually now since J.D. Gregson is hurt, and but he can play literally anywhere, second, third, short, and left field
How's he
catcher.
been doing that catcher?
He hasn't played it
Oh,
yet.
he hasn't played it
Yeah,
yet.
he's
but-
just emergency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So solid utility guy right there. Yeah. Before we get, so we don't have to talk about Prairie A&M. I think everyone knows what happened. Auburn.
Yeah, very interesting series.
I gotta go back in the.
Kind of
Yeah.
those
The
nine,
database
those
for
9
that
to
one.
5.
There's been a lot of nights.
Yeah,
since
there's
then.
been a lot of sleeping
Yeah.
since then. 9
Yeah.
to 5 for the Friday game. Won that one. Lost the game I covered.
Game
the
one of the
Saturday-
doubleheader.
Of the doubleheader on Friday. That's right, because it was our Thursday.
Tragic. Casey Wells got thrown out
Thrown
at the
out
plate.
At the plate, and honestly, I
I
looked
thought it was
like
a good
to me.
call.
Yeah, it looked like to me like he got him. Like, and you called it on the field.
That image that was kind of surfacing around Twitter of where he missed
Bad
the tag.
angle.
Not that it was a bad angle. He missed the tag there, but he ends up tagging him. Like,
Well, and also
it was a bad
that
slide.
angle was literally like from the side, that,
Right.
Like, you couldn't see like the overhead that they showed,
Yeah.
and so lost that one, and then just smoked them the game 2, the
Yeah, last
doubleheader.
Who covered game 2?
I don't know, it probably wasn't important. Mizzou
Right,
last
exactly.
weekend.
Was it you, Emily?
It was me. I just,
Anyways,
How was your story? Was it a good story?
Well, we-
That was some good work.
We had a joint
that's right,
story.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
I
it was a
remember
double
seeing
header.
that.
Yeah, it was a double header,
joint
so
story.
we put it together.
Who chose the header?
Me.
You did?
Yep.
You let him choose?
Well, I entered the Google Doc and it was already all done, and I was like, I'm not gonna fight him on it. I just whatever. It was so late.
Actually, you entered the Google Doc, and it was just my story, and so then you put yours at the bottom, and then I changed the header. And then you said, I like this, and so we
The
went
header
with
was
it.
good. I can't say the same about the social, but whatever. I looked
You
past it.
agreed to it, so
What was the social?
I don't even remember.
There's a lot of commas in it, and there just wasn't a need for all those commas.
Oh, Hunter loves.
Yeah, commas are awesome.
When he first got here, and I was trying to talk to him about, we were talking in the other room. I said, do you love commas? Like his sentences, I swear to God, would be
Dude, you can fight me on it, dude.
And he's like, that's his style of writing.
It's my style, man.
He likes
I
it. I'm
will
not gonna dig
live
his
and
style.
die by commas. I hate sentences that sound like a child wrote them, where it's like, Aggie did this, then they did this.
Why don't you throw in like an M dash
then
or
they put this, and then just put a comma. It makes it sound better.
dashes work too. I think
M dashes are
See,
so
I tried
sexy.
putting in dashes a few times, and then they get edited out, and so I just gave up.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so the Missouri weekend, offense, and a lot of offense. This Missouri weekend looked exactly how the team looked last year, where it was pitching was just enough, and then hitting won the game.
Yeah, it was definitely not a great way to end that series, though. I've
rough.
That was one of the more mad times that I've seen Coach Schlossnagel after a game, even though they had already won the series. You could tell he was very upset.
Was it just like no energy, no like, what was there to be mad about?
Well, he was mad at the fact that the pitching just continues to walk and be inconsistent, giving up free passes
Like
over and over.
was it Ole Miss that we covered where they had 11 walks? We covered.
Something like that.
I think it was Ole
there's
Miss.
been I feel like
I
there's
think
been
it
a bunch
was.
of games.
Yeah, it was
this
Ole Miss
season
that
when
we
they've had
covered where they give up
double-digit
11
free passes.
walks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I mean, 13 runs in the first 2 games of the series and run rule in the second game. I mean, that's solid. I've been writing about it in a few other articles that in SEC play after the first 2 series, since Brett Minnick has been back, they have bumped up to averaging 9 runs a game, and since then have hit 22 home runs. But then they hit 22 home runs in SEC play. I haven't even counted the midweeks.
Yeah.
Texas State and Prairie View, so that'll be even more. So offense has been really good. The main issue is that it's the horse isn't even dead anymore. We've already buried the horse, and we're still kicking the ground that we buried it on. It's like the pitching doesn't. So inconsistent.
They came out with the lineup. We'll get to that for Kentucky, but I was like, all right, I wonder who's going to be starting this weekend. I looked, it has Nathan Detmer Friday. Question mark.
Yeah,
We don't even know the other
that's
two
what it was
guys.
last weekend as well.
Is that how it was last weekend?
Yeah.
I thought they at least had a number.
No.
last
It
weekend.
last weekend was the same thing.
It was
dude.
it was TBA Saturday and Sunday, and
TBA
then the
is-
weekend before it was TBA Sunday.
His ERA is
Yeah.
getting up there.
So it's just
And it ended up
he's
being,
going crazy.
TBA, man, pitching 2 days in a row,
Sadeo,
like softball.
That Sunday.
No, it was
Sedale didn't
Stewart.
start. Yeah, Josh Stewart.
It was Stewart.
Well,
to start. He was like
Stewart
an
started
opener.
the Saturday. Carson Lambert started the Sunday game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Slosh was like, it felt like he was kind of
And it was a
experimenting.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
He was
series.
experimenting with like an opener, as opposed to like a closer, like a guy who can. Because if you look at it, it kind of makes sense. Because
Stewart did well in his role.
yeah, it kind of makes sense because
Lambert got rocked, but
the pitching
Stewart did
seems
well.
to be able to do good for a couple of innings, and then they'll have one disastrous nightmare inning where it all goes wrong.
Mhm.
So I feel like Schloss was taking advantage of the depth and just kind of cycling in before anything could go wrong. Which again, he's always been quick to pull the plug anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I do feel like I have to make a public apology to Ryan Targach now because
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
to
I've
the
been waiting on
back to the
this.
hammer status.
it was like after I said that in the last podcast, he started actually hitting. So I
Yeah,
feel like
didn't-
I have to
didn't-
apologize.
We
'Cause
talked
you
about
weren't-
that.
Well, yeah,
because
because you weren't there for that podcast, but that
Yeah.
was the Ole Miss series when he got that walk off, like the day
Yeah.
after you just trashed him.
Yeah, and I covered that game, and so I had to interview him afterwards. I was like, oh god.
Oh, nice.
Like,
Ooh, he's like, hey,
Well,
listen to the podcast.
Maybe he doesn't. If he's listening to the home turf, then
I'm
he
so
has
sorry,
problems.
Ryan.
Wow.
You're doing great.
Yeah, no, he's turning up now. I think. You know, why don't you hate on someone else right now? So maybe they'll bring him some good luck.
Hate on the entire pitching staff, please.
Yeah.
Dude, Nathan Detmer
Go in.
sucks.
We're giving you 30
Matt,
seconds just to
Ooh,
just go
ooh.
in on whoever.
Well, I
Except
mean,
for
yeah.
Evan Ashenbeck. 'cause
Oh,
that's
Evan's
our only
doing
saving
no,
great.
if you hate on him, he'll be even better, dude. Like Paul Skeens getting out there
Oh,
throwing like
gosh.
pushing 99.
All right, Emily, who's
No, I mean,
no, just name off. Name names. Say
Oh,
they
I'm-
suck.
names and go off on.
on the hot
Every
seat
single
right
one.
now is I don't want to say Nathan Detmer, but Nathan Detmer
No,
is
say it.
kind of
He has a
he's
6-something ERA.
he's inconsistent right now, and I feel like I mean, obviously he's going to get the single designated starter position that we have, but I want to see more
I
from
love
him.
how our first ever guest on our podcast, the OG, that's the first one she attacks.
I know.
Like,
He's the
wow.
only pitcher we know for sure is going to be out there, and I just
That's true.
No, I agree. No,
No, it's
No,
completely
I agree.
accurate. I mean,
Well, we
Lo-
know for sure. Evan.
yeah, Oshimbeck's gonna be out there, but Oshimbeck has the lowest ERA
That's
on
our
the team.
guy.
So
It's our
Yeah.
guy.
Okay, anyone else hitting wise? Go on. In the field.
I mean,
Or we just going straight
Austin
pitches?
Bose might need
Austin
it a little
Bose.
Austin Boast,
He-
yeah.
although I will say in the press conference today, Schloss was talking about how he's not a bad hitter. He's just extremely unlucky.
He has been getting.
Yeah.
So
extremely
there
unlucky.
is, he said Nolan Kane was telling him that in the MLB, hitters that hit between like launch angle like 10 and 30 degrees, no matter the exit velocity, like doing the best in our the top two on our team that hit in that angle the most are Hunter Haas and Jack Moss, who are hitting above 360, and then Austin Bose is number 3, and he's hitting like 220.
Well, that's
So he
wild.
was like, he's just unlucky, and I don't want to get the animal people mad, but we'll have to like sacrifice a chicken, or he needs to go to church
Yeah,
more,
Peter's about to be on.
or
it.
he needs to go to church more, is what he said. And so it's like, yeah,
Oh my
He said that.
gosh.
Yeah.
About the. Oh, he said that about the animal people.
no,
I
no,
swear
Oh,
Schloss-
you're
Schloss-
saying that.
Yeah, no, Schloss said that Bose needs to go to church more,
Wow.
or do something to like, because he said he's just so unlucky.
That's what Ryan Targach just said the same thing, where he's like, I hope he gets out of this little rut that he's in, and like he deserves to start hitting stuff.
Only way to break a hitting rut is to hit a baseball. I mean, you just got to keep swinging. It's
Hey,
just
just keep swinging.
you just keep swinging, just keep swinging, just keep swinging.
Hey, so the last episode, the one that you were on, I think we had one person that was hitting above 300 right now. During that episode.
Yeah,
It was
it was Hunter.
Hunter
Haas.
Haas,
I
Hunter
think.
yeah.
Haas. So how's
I think
the whole batting average? How's it all looking?
Jack
a
Moss is
lot
up there.
better.
Let's look.
God, Brett Mick is
I'll pull up
Brett
the batting
Minnick,
averages
man.
before yesterday. Brett Minnick is definitely hitting over
Brett
300.
Mick is him. So you can imagine if we had him the entire season.
So
Yeah.
before Prairie View A&M, Jack Moss hitting 380, Hunter Haas is hitting 368, and Brett Minnick is batting 311. Everyone else in the starting lineup was batting in the 200s.
Which we get to Kentucky, we'll talk more about on that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk Kentucky. So I want to go on though. get to a big transfer.
Ooh, so excited. Transfer
Hunter,
talk.
Hunter, I know you always start the transfer basketball talk, but I think I'm going to give the honors to Emily.
Okay.
Just because where he's from.
Oh, that's valid. That's really fair. Well,
So-
not where he's from. It's where
no,
he's
Not
college.
where he's, not where he's from, but yeah, where he's coming from.
Yeah.
No, you can introduce it, and then I'll add my little flair. You know.
Okay.
Hey guys, Jace Carter just
No!
just committed.
Hey.
to-
Ruined it.
Get out.
Wow.
Get
Sorry, I had
out.
to ruin it for y'all.
Get
Already
out.
started.
No, well, yeah, okay.
Coming in
now
at-
that we know, first transfer that's
Coming at
been announced,
6'5",
headed to Buzz
210.
Williams' basketball team. Maybe Dexter Dennis's replacement, although that's big roles to
A
fill.
long offseason to go, my
Mr.
friend.
Yes, true.
Wait, so let me
Mr.
hear
Jace
his-
Carter.
Go on size.
He is a 6'5" guard.
Okay.
Will be our tallest guard.
Yeah.
210 from Titusville, Florida.
6'5", 210.
210. He's a
Oh,
big
he's
guard.
old.
And okay, I've been watching his tape because of course I was.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just simply doing a player profile. He has a very similar play style to Quentin Jackson.
Really?
He is a
Crazy
really
bunnies.
He's a really hard driver that will like makes contact in air and then makes some weird acrobatic shot like off the backboard, and he is really good in catch and shoot.
Yeah.
Like when he gets a quick pass out, catch the three, shoot it. His 3-point percentage is down, but when you watch his when you actually compare his catch and shoot stat to his 3-point stat,
Yeah.
it's a lot better.
And he was the main guy. Well, okay. Where's he from? You want to add your flair?
Yeah.
This is your
Come on,
flair.
it's hometown flair.
Well, now I'm like worried I'm gonna get it wrong somehow.
Well, come on.
You should know. Go on.
But he's from UIC, isn't he?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I'm sorry. I
Go-
doubted myself for a
Go
second.
Flames.
Go Flames.
I doubted
Okay,
myself.
flame on. I don't know if that's what they say.
Flame on,
If
I
it's
think
not,
is
they
right.
should say that.
I don't.
What's
I'm
the
just
flair?
Flair. I don't know. Just being in Chicago, he's got some grit. That's all I can really say.
And I will say,
Grit,
watching
wow.
tape, he does have some grit.
He's got some grit.
and some really good. And when you look deeper into him, you can see exactly why Buzz Williams picked him up.
Yeah, I'm watching the tape right now. It looks
Yeah,
pretty good.
he led the conference, led the Missouri Valley Conference in steals last season.
Oof, that's good to
So
know.
as soon as you see that stat, that screams Buzz Williams.
You know what's crazy? I think they won. UIC won 4 games. Did y'all see that? You see their standings from
Last
last
year?
year? Bottom of the. I was looking. I was like, I wonder how they. How good their team was. I think they won like 4-21. But that's Chicago grit.
6th best scorer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, there's 4 other people.
My
Right?
bad.
6th best scorer in the Missouri Valley Conference and led the Missouri Valley Conference with 1.8
Wow.
steals per game.
What was that, right? 4-21?
Well, 12-20 overall, 4-16 in conference.
4-16 was their conference. Oh.
Not bad. They got 4.
They got 4.
I mean, really good guy that we will have for hopefully a couple of years.
yeah.
Um,
Solid transfer right there.
Still some more people in the portal. that
I'm
I would
gonna
love to pick up.
when he gets here, I'm gonna offer to take him to the Portillo's. That's in the.
I wonder how often he frequents. Well, I don't know. He's a basketball
I'll
player,
join
probably.
that.
Is there like
the
a code
chocolate
that
cake
y'all
shake.
Chicago people tell each other that like you don't just go up and like I'm from Chicago. You kind of go up, throw a sign. And
Yeah,
they're like,
there's
no.
a gust of wind.
There's a
and
gust
then
of
they
wind.
just
They're like,
appear.
oh, you from the grit? You got grit?
You got grit?
There's
greedy.
some like phrases that
What's-
you can.
What's a Chicago phrase?
Yeah.
Well, it's I wouldn't know if they're like phrases. There's words. There's definitely words.
Chicago.
If we're playing a game of bags, and
What?
you guys call it cornhole.
Yeah, because it's bags of
Sorry,
corn.
did you just call cornhole bad?
Bags?
It's bags.
It's called cornhole
Bags?
Yeah.
Y'all call it bags?
Yeah.
Y'all play
Or-
cornhole up there?
Or if we're drinking some drinks and we call it
Oh,
pop, and you guys call it
boo.
soda.
Soda.
Y'all call it pop?
Pop. Yeah.
Because
Are
it's
you
soda.
An 80-year-old?
Sorry, I didn't know you served in World War II.
You want to go get some pop and play some bags?
Hey, the great city is Chicago. That's what I'm saying.
Let's meet by the bean.
The bean.
I gotta hear more. Give me a couple more.
Those are the only 2 I can think of off the top of my head.
Garbage.
How about the Cubbies?
Garbage?
The Cubbies. Y'all call them the Cubbies?
No.
I call them the Cubbies.
Only when you're doing like the 7th inning stretch.
Go
At the games.
7-inch stretch. That's where I stretch my legs to walk out of Wrigley Field.
You do have,
'Cause they're
you do
down
have-
so bad.
You do have like a Chicago accent.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I say the word Chicago, and everyone like makes fun of the way I say
Chicago.
it.
Chicago.
Say it again, please.
Chicago.
It's like Grant saying
Chicago.
Antetokounmpo. I'm just kidding.
Or Shibwe.
When you first,
Shibwe.
Throwback.
I'm like, you can't even spell Shibwe. When you first came down here and you heard how everyone talked down here, was it weird, or is it like kind of like, it's normal?
No, I have a lot of family in like Tennessee, so it's like
that's
the
worse.
accents are like that. They don't really. But I didn't know I had an accent until I got
I
down
feel like
here.
even as a Texan, I can identify people who have Texan accents. Like, there are some people that are like, real, have some real drawl, and you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
whoa, where are you from?
So Jace Carter.
Yeah, back to anyway.
Yeah.
Weird side quest. He's a solid pickup. He's not a. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's not a huge splash pickup because that's a really big pickup. He was one of the first people we offered, and I remember when we offered him, I was like that. I would enjoy watching him play, but I would still love. I mean, it's a pipe dream looking like at this point, but
Who
man,
are you wanting, Hunter?
yeah, you know who I want.
I don't think we're one of the. Go on.
I would love Max Asmus, man, but
Yeah,
we're not gonna
Yeah.
get him.
It sounds like it's gonna be
It's
either
K-State or
Texas or
Texas.
Kansas
I was
State.
looking,
Yeah.
so
And I'm
Tyler
afraid it's gonna
Perry.
be Texas.
Tyler Perry hasn't made an announcement yet, right?
We're not in his top though.
Yeah, but we didn't make his top. I saw that and I was like,
I
I'd
don't know
like to
who
see
else.
the Stanford transfer, Harrison
Ingram.
Ingram. But I feel like Kansas might have a hold on that one.
Well, no, Kansas just picked up Nicholas Timberlake from Towson, so that may sway him.
Possibly. I mean, if
dude,
Buzz could somehow pull that off,
My
woo!
pitch to him would be like, come here and play.
Come here, play, and you have a legitimate shot to make a run.
Yeah, like in the SEC with like experienced players that like, that if you aren't gonna like, I don't know. I feel like as a player, like knowing that I'm not just gonna be the guy. Like if I have a down game, that my team could keep winning. I don't know. I guess it's like team first mentality, but I mean he could start easily. I would start him in Dexter's spot and then have Jace off the bench. Is what I would
There's
do.
a guard actually who just transferred out of Texas, Arterio Morris.
Kind of
he was
embarrassing.
suspended for like one game, and it could have been. I think it was domestic violence. No,
Some-
I'm not gonna say domestic violence because no, it wasn't.
It can't be domestic
It
violence
can't be
because he's not
domestic because he
married.
wouldn't have even played.
Do you have to be married for domestic violence?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I
But
sound
one
stupid.
team-
Though.
Yeah, that was.
Definitely
You're
don't.
definitely
no.
not a lawyer.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm not calling.
Oh, this says right here, Morris was never suspended from the men's basketball team. A statement from UT Athletics.
Well, shocker,
to the
his
State
coach
Tribune
was Chris
said,
Beard.
We're made aware of the. We were made aware of the allegations involving Arterio Morris and provided all information we had regarding the situation that occurred outside of the city of Austin to our campus Title IX office. So I think it had to do with something related to like females and violence. However, he wasn't suspended. They couldn't ever prove it. So like he set out like a game, but he ended up
Yeah, I don't even
but
know
one
about
team
that.
I want to talk about though, really, it's not Kansas, but they have two letters in front of them, and it could be Kansas, but it's Arkansas.
Wow,
Have
that
you
was a
seen
very
right there?
interesting segue.
That was really bad.
Yeah,
Hey, I
I
kinda
liked
liked it.
it.
It was unique. It was
it's
special.
unique. I was just trying to do something. You know what, Emily? Why don't you walk out? Anyways,
Arkansas.
Oh, dude, they were on a
Dude.
tear.
they're on a tear right
Trayvon
now.
Mark.
Oh, L. Ellis.
They got my boy L. Ellis.
I know you were high on him.
Dude, he's cold, but he's just a scoring guard. They got Jeremiah Davenport. He was probably the coldest.
My only thing is,
coldest on Cincy.
what are they gonna do for big men?
Well,
One of the Mitchells is transferring. I remember.
one of the Mitchells is transferring.
And I'll be honest, they weren't even that.
Walsh is going to the
Good.
draft.
He's keeping his college eligibility though.
Yeah.
But I imagine.
He's good enough to go
I'm
to the
pretty
draft.
Sure he's going to go second round.
Yeah.
Because he has potential. I mean, he was
This entire
a top,
draft
he was
is
a
kind
top
of.
recruit.
After you get past like the first like 10, 15 picks this draft, there's a lot of just potential picks.
Like
honestly.
most NBA drafts.
Well, this one especially, like when you get that, like me and Graham were looking at the second round about a month ago. We were like,
Yeah.
this is a crapshoot of who could actually turn out and who's just like a random.
Right.
I mean, so they've lost, I already said Wash, Anthony Black, Nick Smith Jr., Ricky Council, and Devontae Davis. Some of them are keeping their
Their
college
eligibility.
eligibility.
Is Nick Smith Jr. going to the
However,
draft?
I won't be surprised if all four of those guys
Dude, Nick
go.
Smith is going to probably be
I
still
know.
a
I
lottery
just
pick.
I just thought it was It's a little
Oh, and
interesting.
one of the-
considering
and one of them-
he was out for half
and
the
one of
year.
the
I'll watch him at
Mitchells-
the SEC tournament. He's legit.
One of the Mitchells
He's-
is hitting the portal too, so that's another one leaving.
Yeah. So I mean, they got a lot of guards to take their position. However, yeah, big man. I didn't even think about that. I don't know what they're doing.
They're gonna be they're gonna be.
Small guard.
They should
yes.
go get Kevin Marfo. He might have some eligibility.
Dude, he follows me on Instagram.
Nice flex.
Yeah, dude, it was so
Hey,
funny. Cause
so-
this was before I'd even done like anything like student media related. I followed him on Instagram. He followed me back. I was like, oh, word, okay.
Nice guy.
There is a
And then he was
big man
bad.
in the transfer portal right now visiting with Kentucky.
Oh,
Hunter Dickinson.
God, I hope he doesn't go to Kentucky. I would hate
Dude,
to have to play
he is
him.
cold. He's also like 27.
He's like if Colin Castleton was actually like good.
But if Arkansas gets their hands on him somehow, the way they've been
No
landing
shot,
recruits,
dude. That's a national championship team.
I mean, easily.
Like that's my
Easily.
that would be my preseason pick for a national
Oh yeah.
championship.
For
dude.
the I feel bad because I go to Texas A&M, but for the past 2 years, Arkansas has been like my second basketball team.
I hate
And
Arkansas.
I don't like them.
So,
but I just love their
I
team.
We're
hate
kicking you off the
Arkansas.
pod.
Yeah.
I hate
But, dude-
Arkansas because I love the transfer portal, and I would love to have a team that's just like constantly like transfer portal, like
Yeah.
the good players.
Yeah. So speaking of transfer portal,
Speaking of,
and speaking of a different sport, football,
The portal
What?
gives and the portal
taketh away.
taketh away.
one of the biggest names in the transfer portal, probably not talent, yes, but actions and loudness and
Fan factor.
Yes.
was huge. Bobby Taylor has transferred out of Texas A&M, or he's entering the transfer portal, and he posted something on his Instagram saying, "Don't think I don't." What do you say? Don't think I didn't want to be here. Like, so he wanted
I
to
did
be
see
here.
that.
However, which I don't understand because okay,
It's
I know the safety positions are locked, and I want to talk about someone when we get to spring game. The corner position isn't that much of a battle though. Like, I mean, who's our corners? Right.
Well,
Well,
you have Tyreek
Grimes.
Chappelle. That's
Yeah.
that one's solid.
Grimes.
Yeah,
Grimes.
then it's a battle between Tony Grimes, Sam
But, like,
McCall,
Deuce Harmon's not guard.
Deuce, Jared Kerr. He's more of a safety
Not Jared
nickel.
Kerr, Gilbert.
He's more
Jordan.
of a he's a safety.
He's more of a safety.
Yeah,
too.
he-
So we have
The corners right now are it's
two transfers.
Because then
it's because you recruited 4 corners in the 2022 class. All 4 of them are gone.
they're all
They're
gone
all in the
now.
portal, or at
and
different
then
schools
and
now.
then Bryce Anderson's the nickel.
Bryce Anderson will be nickel.
But Jimbo did say he could play anywhere in the
oh
South
yeah,
End.
it wouldn't. I mean, if they need to line him up at corner, I'm sure he would.
He did say that,
perfectly
like
fine there.
specifically in his quote.
But
He's like,
now,
But I don't blame him for leaving. I just thought
No.
it was funny seeing that he's entering the transfer portal when he was like the biggest
The
recruiter.
recruiter.
He was the
Right.
recruiter, and now he's leaving.
right?
And I was just like, but however, Bryce Anderson. So this guy from the Houston Chronicle did a story on him, and you see what he said.
I did see that.
Said we got all the loose heads out now.
Yeah.
which just makes me feel a lot better
It
because
does
the
make me
culture
feel
on the
better.
team last year was awful. It was so
Terrible.
bad.
And I feel like he said, they have a bunch of guys who want to win now
Yeah,
and who want to do good.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a
I feel like the talent is completely there. It's all going to be about the coaching this year.
yeah, there's not a name
Yeah.
that I worry about on the roster now after everyone had transferred out in the offseason.
I think we're fit at every position. I want to. Oh well,
Well,
go on.
yeah,
And then someone
Now-
else.
yeah. So yeah, we just got like an hour and a half after Bobby Taylor announces
Yeah.
it. Josh DeBerry.
Dude, not even, it was like
commits.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Dude. It was like
it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's a big get for filling depth needs, and I mean he could even go in for a starting role. He was ACC all like honorable team I think his first 2 years, and then he was all ACC second team last season.
Really.
So I mean
It's a good
that's
pickup.
it's depth.
Yeah.
good, solid.
It's a position of need. And then we don't have it on the board here, but I do want to mention since we just did get that commit, because you talk about all the positions being
Yeah.
locked up. Linebacker was definitely a position of
Yeah.
need, and they filled it with a little bit more depth, getting J.D. Davis, the transfer from Jackson State.
I don't know if I was talking about this with one of the reporters or with y'all, and we're talking about who's one guy you want to see step up this year, and he told me, I forgot who he said. He was talking about running backs and stuff like that. I said Adrian Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Adrian Cooper may have the biggest role on the defense this year.
He came in, hyped up, so much talent, had to play behind Buddy Johnson 1 year. Second year was very quiet. And this year, dude, he's fast.
He's fast and he hits
so
hard.
He hits so hard. He's like a truck.
I worked at Wingstop last summer, and he came in a lot. He was one of those guys that came in a lot. And, dude, his, like, you know how linebackers are built? You ever seen, like, a college linebacker in person? Their neck is huge. This dude got the neck to be a linebacker.
You know what his, like, his play style reminds me of? His kind of downhill.
Yeah.
Little guy named Dat Nguyen.
Dat Nguyen.
He has a very Dat Nguyen-esque play style.
I mean,
not saying he is him, but if we're doing like a style of play, like a reckless abandon kind of sacrifice your body.
Yeah, I mean, and we had one of the worst run defenses last year in the SEC, and I mean, we just got a linebacker from Jackson State. However, he should be the guy. Still, whoever comes in, he should be a guy. He should set the tempo, and I think if he has a big year, then the defense has a big year. And then I want to see him step up.
A name, not necessarily step up, but that could surprise a lot of people, especially in the spring game. Like when watching the spring game, Torian York. Dude, he was all over the field.
So high on that kid when he committed.
He was
just
all
based
over
off
the place.
Based off like what he said in interviews, like I was really high on this kid, and because you look at his ranking on the recruiting rankings, it's just like not good. Like he's in the thousands, but
no. So I'm glad you brought that up because I was seeing him make plays, and I looked him up, and I was like, oh shoot, he's a freshman this year, right?
Yeah.
He just enrolled this.
He just enrolled,
spring,
and I was like, who is this kid?
2023 class.
And I looked him up. I mean, he was like a 2-3 star.
Yeah,
it was a low.
I'll pull up his 247 profile right now, but it was.
Yeah, he wasn't a big name, so I didn't really know who he was, but I saw him out there. He was.
No, he's flying all over the field. I think he looked really good. Micah Tease looked really good. Wide receiver. That made me more comfortable about in terms of depth.
Tight end Fernando
Garza.
Garza, yeah.
Garza surprised me too. He was the best tight end out there that day.
He was.
Yeah. Then again, Donovan Green wasn't playing.
True.
Yeah, if Donovan Green would be playing, but I thought Jake Johnson didn't do. I thought he did pretty good too.
Yeah, except for 2 false starts, but.
Well, yeah.
It happens.
Did you watch the game, Emily?
I was at baseball.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry guys, I can't contribute.
Well, you're chilling. Oh, you're both chilling in the AC. Wow.
She wasn't in the press box.
For the baseball? Oh, you were just.
I was just hanging.
Yeah,
it was awful.
He was awful.
It was bad.
That's what you get.
Yeah, no, I was out there.
Should have been the spring game sweating.
So they only had like half of the field and then the whole lower section.
Yeah.
People were climbing stairs, sneaking through places to get to the upper levels. Like we snuck through these bars, went up to the very top. There's a whole bunch of us up there, and then this cop came and kicked us all out. They finally opened up the second row. We went up there, and I was like, dude, I'm sitting in the heat, but I don't care. I'm sitting down. I had to stand up for the whole first quarter, but there's a lot of positives I saw in the spring game, a lot of things I like, and a lot of things I did not like. Like you already mentioned the 2 guys, York and that wide receiver, Tease. And then obviously that tight end. Dude, Bryce Anderson is going to be that dude.
He's a dog.
Next year.
He has like that mentality as well.
I was seeing a lot of good hits, a lot of good tackles. Dude, he went out there and laid the boom. That's how you take it. That's how you take over Antonio Johnson's spot.
Yeah.
Right there. You got to go in and lay the
I hate they had to do that.
Oh yeah.
Was he the one who hit Noah Thomas?
Yes. Yeah. Because he hit him and then immediately just starts flexing like
oh yeah.
Raged out like in the spring.
It kind of stinks.
I like that.
I know. You're hyped.
It stinks that he did that though because Noah Thomas was named offensive MVP.
Yeah, I
was talking to Bo Splake, and I was asking him like who's been looking good, and he was like, dude, Noah Thomas is legit. Like he might be a starter, you know.
I mean, when he committed, I heard Mike Evans comparisons, and not even just from the fact that he's from the Galveston area as well. He's fast, he's tall.
I mean, Aniason is. I was in the post game. He was like, he just does everything super casually that's like extraordinary. Like he'll he'll run like 3 post routes in a row and then just line up for another one, and then just casually make like a behind the back catch and then line up for another one. And it's just he just does all the really small things. Him and Bryce both were like he just does everything.
Could be very dangerous. A very slept on wide receiver core. This year, with Evan Stewart, Anaya Smith, and Noah Thomas.
Noah Thomas.
Oh, please.
And then Micah T steps into a role too.
Oh,
It's a relatively younger receiving core, but one that could definitely make some splash.
Not to mention, you got a 5-star arm thrown to him.
Start and just y'all see that diving catch?
Oh,
yes.
Oh my god! I was like,
just casually. There were so many catches, even the ones that like went out of bounds, where he's just like he just casually makes like the most ridiculous catch. He looks really good.
So what y'all see out of the offense and then the quarterback situation?
Well, offensive line obviously with missing a bunch of pieces. And then going up against
the offensive line.
And then going up against the defensive line studded with 5 stars was kind of a bad role.
I also don't think that they were showing very much. Obviously, since it's the spring game, they weren't implementing much of Bobby Petrino's offense yet.
Yeah.
So.
But there's a couple things.
There's only so much you can really take away.
It took a while up until the beginning of the end of the first half, like the end of the second quarter, when I saw Jake Johnson put together a solid drive and scored, and I thought that was good. And in the second half, I mean, we know what happened. I mean, they just took away. I'm trying to wonder. So I didn't say the whole game. I left kind of like early third, and then I got home, and then it was 33 to whatever.
13. It was 33-13, and then they scored a garbage time touchdown.
Yeah. Did they stay in the whole time? The quarterbacks, Jake Johnson?
They put in for one drive some of the walk-ons, but then they just put they put like Connor with the white team, and then like threw Max in just to see.
Right.
So at that point,
so
it was already
see
over.
Out of them too, though?
Not a lot of separation.
No,
I thought neither one looked. I mean, it's hard to judge when they can't use their wheels, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
Connor presents
playing very conservatively, and you're not playing super with the offense that you're going to be using in
I thought
season.
Connor's arm looked much stronger than last year. You could tell he's been in the lab. Like, you could tell he was just pushing it last year. Like, he was just pushing it, barely went anywhere. He got a little stronger.
His interception was stupid. It was a horrible read, horrible
the duck
throw.
to Kent Robinson.
Yeah, to the 5'8" safety.
Passed up Bobby Taylor on the depth chart.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, saw good things. I wish, the defensive line looked good, obviously.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I
would hope so. You got Walter Nolan in there and Fadil Diggs.
That guy's going to be a beast.
Brownlow Dindy was getting some plays, and he blew up the play a couple of times.
Seeing Brownlow Dindy and Walter Nolan together this year is going to be
so scary. Can you imagine like you're an offensive lineman?
And not to mention that in front of them you have McKinley Jackson.
Who was doing really good before he got hurt, and Fidel Diggs.
Albert Reed,
that guy's a stud.
It was his breakout season, like the best defensive lineman.
Stay healthy.
Shamar
and this
Turner,
team has
Shamar Turner. Albert Regis looked good in the spring. Oh, dude, there's literally you can
so much
spin a wheel.
Just stay healthy. I mean, last year it felt like every single game somebody new was hurt.
Weight. A lot of them are slimming up. They're all. I don't want to jinx anything. However, I'm really excited.
So hold on. There's a quote that I loved actually. Let me pull up my spring game article. I think it was Shamar Turner that said it. They asked him about Walter Nolan. And he said, let me see.
I just know that they asked Jimbo. They were asking him about his weight, and they're like, it looked like he lost weight. He's like, no, he was playing at that weight last year.
Really?
Yeah.
He said,
yeah, that's what Jimbo said.
They came out and said he lost like 30 pounds. Was that
he
all?
said,
I don't know.
I have no idea. So Shamar Turner said, Walt has improved so much. You can tell his attitude towards the game has changed. Walt surprised me this spring. Walt is going to be one of the greatest to come out of A&M.
Wow.
He's our greatest
high praise. Considering he is our highest ranked recruit of all time.
So,
Hopefully.
He said he's going to be one of the greatest to come out of A&M, and I was like, that is what we call a money line.
Yup.
Money.
So what y'all think
That's in the story.
That's going in print.
One more. What y'all see out of Ruben Owens and Daniels?
Ruben Owens looks really good in terms of like he has a really good speed burst. He is really like short distance, just 0 to 100 really quickly. Good lateral movement.
I would love to see them do like a rotation of Daniels and Reuben Owens in the backfield, and then on like third down, goal line, and they're kind of doing that, sticking Crown over.
I hope we rotate running
and
backs.
I want to see rotation. That's
Crown
what I wanna see,
over
kind of
or
like,
the fullback transfer we just got from Rice as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or
Jerry Johnson,
What did-
whose brother is actually a freshman linebacker.
And father
who just,
is
and
a
father
coach.
strength
Yeah.
coach. Yeah.
He's a nepo baby.
All right, Emily, say something. I just need a sentence, a word, something.
No, I don't. I feel like I can't contribute anything.
What are your
because
thoughts
I-
on Jimbo Fisher?
What are your thoughts about him saying that the Houston Chronicle gives garbage questions?
That was a joke. Did you see that? Did you
Oh, you
watch?
said I need a
Did you
text.
did you
Yeah,
actually watch the press
Did I-
conference?
I was there.
You were in there?
Yes,
Okay.
I covered the spring game.
I didn't know if you went in. I'm sorry. You could obviously tell that was a joke.
I
I
mean,
wonder how much
and
they paid
Brent-
Jimbo to say that.
And Brent Zwinnerman even
Texac
defended him on Twitter.
publicity.
I was. You obviously know I'm joking. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to include all of
He's
our.
backing up his boys.
I know.
backing
He's
up
like,
it's okay.
Texas, give some really good questions. Okay?
I'm just-
Lucci did not pay Jimbo to say that.
I'm just
He did
saying.
not, that was not a marketing stunt.
I missed one spring game, and I'm out for like a whole segment of the whole podcast here.
See,
Well,
this-
no, you covered quite a few football games last year.
I covered 2, and it
That's
was
It was
quite a few.
UMass. You covered UMass. That was when I first
Oh,
met
that
you.
was UMass. That was a barn burner.
Oh yeah, no, it was awful.
You covered UMass?
I had to,
Yeah.
I'm
I had
sorry.
to think of
Yeah.
things to say to Emily. I was like, okay.
Oh,
I
how
just
about
need
this
to
weather?
say-
huh?
I
It's
went to the
horrible.
UMass
I literally
game.
said, I was like, was it this bad in Chicago?
yeah, that's.
I went to the
This bad?
UMass game and walked right out.
Oh
I
my
did
God.
not
I didn't
watch a
even-
single second.
Luke-
I walked
Wet.
in
Luke
and
asked
walked
me
right
the,
out.
like the night before. He was like, "Hey, we pulled tickets earlier that week," and I was like, he was like, "Hey, you still down to go?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like that night before, like new Pokemon game just released, dude." And I was like,
you nerd.
I was like, dude, do I want to wake up like to go to this horrible weather football game against UMass? No, I really don't.
Go
No,
watch.
We were watching. No, because that was
What was it,
no, 'cause
4 and
that was
6
the
at the
week where
time?
everyone was just playing
3 and
bad,
something. 3 and
horrible
6.
teams.
Terrible.
3 and 7.
I learned a lot about Emily that day, and I learned that I do not like her.
Real.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Bombshell.
Real.
God.
And then I'm on the podcast. You know?
That's on the podcast, just so we can
Oh
talk
my
trash.
gosh.
But nah, any last notes on football?
I'm ready for the season.
Yes.
What,
I'm
what, are you,
just
what are you looking
excited to
forward
see.
to next season?
Well, I feel like I was just listening to the podcast there, hearing you guys talk about it. I mean,
I
if
saw her yawning and like stretching.
yeah, stretching over here, I was taking a nap. If the team is as good as the players that you guys have been talking about, if they pull through, then I'm looking forward to the season.
What was really bad about last year?
Dude, that's a whole podcast.
The coaching.
What was some of the things you saw last year that was just
That's
like,
episode 38.
wow, the Chicago Bears would not,
No, the
they
Chicago
would.
Bears
They
would.
do it.
They would. There was
Wow, so you had to cover A&M and then go watch Chicago on Sunday.
yeah.
That's a
That's-
sad
that's a
weekend.
whole-
Yeah.
Sad
That's
weekend.
like,
That is.
oh my
respect.
God.
Respect that you're still alive.
That's why like it didn't surprise me when the team wasn't great because I'm like, this is what I'm used to. Whatever. I'm good.
Hey, Justin Fields had a great season last year. With the cards he was dealt, I mean...
Yeah.
He played well against the Cowboys, even though their defense let up like 50 points or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
But,
Hey, they beat the Patriots, too.
y'all
so
have,
my boy
no,
Bailey's happy.
who's that safety y'all drafted last year? Brisker? He's a, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's a beast, dude. I got a couple guys I like.
Dude, your punter's so sick.
We got
dude. That
no,
guy's
we're
cool.
just rebuilding. We're taking a really long time.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding.
Dude,
You're
No, I'm
long
You're
excited
long
to see what,
snapper.
who y'all get in the draft. I mean, y'all have quite a few picks, huh?
You're really
Yeah.
scratching.
I'm
We're like, ah,
Quit trying to
you're...
hype up the
dogging it.
Bears.
I'm just
Quit trying to gas up the Bears.
No, I-
Cade and I were over here like, dude, your long snapper is sick, dude. He can snap the
it
ball
was
so
before
far.
the off season last year. I think y'all got the new coach. Y'all had a couple big moves, and I was like, dude, like, cause I just hate Green Bay, and I was talking to this Bears guy.
Real,
like,
real.
Hey, you're on my
Respect.
team this year. Out of
What about the Lions? They got Dan Campbell, head coach. Josh
Oh,
I
Reynolds.
love
yes.
Dan Campbell, but I was like, the Bears are my team this year.
Hunter's
I'm gonna
favorite
take
player,
them.
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds, I got his jersey in my living room.
Yeah, and they
He
were
has a signed
definitely
Josh
not-
Reynolds
Reynolds
jersey.
Aiden jersey in his room. I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
that's sick.
Yeah, dude, I did. He was cold,
But it's
but
time.
it's
I see
time.
Grant reaching over.
It's time.
It's sticky.
It's game time.
Why is it sticky?
I have no idea. Someone
Hunter?
else made them sticky, I guess.
Like it stuck. It like held, like it didn't come up. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So,
It's
as you may be aware, the NHL playoffs recently started.
Woo!
Oh
So I
yeah.
figured we'd do a little throwback.
In case anyone was wondering, the Chicago Blackhawks
Are not
they
in
didn't.
the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs
I
somehow.
actually don't have an affiliated NHL team. I may literally spin a wheel and just pick one.
Or
Anyone-
since you're living in Texas, you can
No.
root for the only team in
Anyone
Texas.
but the
Texas
St. Louis
hockey,
Blues.
The Dallas
What's
Stars.
it- what
Oh,
do-
I hate the Blues.
You have a lot of beef with the city of St. Louis.
I can't
I
stand
hate
the
the
St. Louis
Blues.
Blues.
So, I think we do a little bit of throwback. So, the name of the game's pretty simple. I'm going to give you the old name of a team.
I might just sit and like.
Okay.
That's
And
how I was
you
with
have to
football.
identify what the current team is. And so this is going to be
Okay.
a new team in former city as well.
Okay.
So-
So you're gonna give the city and the
Yes,
name?
like
Okay.
where they were, and then
Yikes.
you need to identify what they are now.
Grant's falling asleep.
So, this is your fault for not. You gotta diversify your
Wow.
portfolio. Honestly,
Wow.
Grant, literally, if you just take a shit.
NHL.
Take a shot in the dark. Just
Whatever.
All right.
Let's
So
go.
to start,
Still gonna be Cade.
we have the
Hold on. Can we call out who's the
Oh,
past
yeah.
champion?
past. So Grant, you did win the last one.
I did.
Cade won all the ones prior.
It doesn't matter. I'm on a win streak right now,
Amen.
and I'm the only.
No,
one on
it's
win
not a streak. You
You have a
gotta
win.
have
I think a streak
you gotta
constitutes
have
more than
multiple
one.
to call that a
No,
streak.
I won the last one.
So-
Cade lost.
So to start, we have the Portland Rosebuds.
Portland Rosebuds.
The Portland
Do I have to
Rosebuds.
think of their new place?
Yeah. What are they now?
Los Angeles Kings.
Incorrect.
Dang it.
That was awful. That's a horrible.
Not really.
Las Vegas Knights.
Oh, that's terrible. They're an
Incorrect.
expansion.
You're
They're an expansion
team.
franchise.
I thought they were.
You
Whatever.
uncultured
You guys
hockey
think the Oakland A's are
swine.
going to Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
can
get
see
to
that.
Oakland in 2026.
Everyone
Dad,
take a
take me,
stab?
please.
well, is there? I can't ask you for help here, can I? At all?
You're the hockey
No.
person.
I'm just thinking like location wise. Like, is it still in the like general like kind of area?
Are they
or...
still in the United States?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
Nope.
Seattle Krakens.
That's another expansion franchise.
You named the
You were
two.
so bad at
You
this.
named the two
I feel like that's gotta be minus points.
You named the two expansion
Okay, I'm
Okay,
going.
I'm gonna go San Jose Sharks.
That's
That's a good
incorrect.
guess.
It
It's a
is the
horrible guess.
Chicago Blackhawks.
No.
Oh no way!
No way.
The Chicago
No
Blackhawks
way.
for the
Wow.
Portland Rosebuds.
That's your team.
I've never heard that before in
That's
my
a
whole
funny
life.
Wow.
Chicago.
Honestly,
Fraud.
dude, I kind of like the Portland Rosebuds. Like, I feel like that kind of goes hard. Like, you could do a cool logo with, like, thorns and stuff, too. I think that could be really sick.
Why do you want to be a rosebud though? That's just like.
I just think
I
it
hope you have
sounds
the
cool.
Atlanta Thrashers in here. I think that's their name.
Number 2, the Minnesota North Stars.
Dallas Stars, baby!
That is correct.
Give me the
Yes,
point!
no,
Dallas
no.
Stars on top. Sorry, I just think I just broke this button. I smashed it so hard.
Number 3,
No one cares.
the Atlanta Thrashers.
They're the Winnipeg Jets now.
That is
Ridiculous.
correct.
You should have taken it off when he was
2
excited
points.
about it. He's cheating.
I think they do something on the side. I was like, hey, what's
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just cultured about hockey.
All right, number 4,
There's no
we have
culture
the.
in hockey.
Oh, shut up.
I hope I'm gonna pronounce this right. The Quebec Nordics or Nordiques.
I'm taking a shot in the dark here. I'm going with the Carolina Hurricanes.
It's incorrect.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
As incorrect.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay, you get
Names the entire
Ottawa
league.
Senators.
it's incorrect. Would anyone take 4 steps?
Washington Capitals.
Incorrect.
Montreal Canadiens.
That is not correct.
I should be impressed I'm actually saying teams.
It's true.
Because, like, I don't even
Hey,
I
do you
don't
take
watch
one
it.
last
Is it in the same country?
This is the last guess.
Yes.
No, we can keep going.
All right, I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
the Vancouver Canucks.
It's incorrect. Yeah, I want to see
The
y'all just try to.
Flames.
Ooh, Calgary
incorrect.
Flames. No.
You said keep going. I want to see like.
New York Rangers.
Incorrect.
New Jersey Devils.
Incorrect.
Just
The
start.
Boston Bruins.
Incorrect. Bruins are one of the.
The Red
They're
Wings.
starting 6. Incorrect.
What's left? Carolina
St. Louis Blues.
Hurricanes.
I already said the Hurricanes.
They won a
This-
Stanley Cup here pretty recently.
Colorado Avalanche.
It's the Colorado Avalanche.
3 points.
They were the Quebec
This ain't fair. Can we
Nordics.
switch it or something? Like, get this case and
3
come back?
points.
I'm not winning this. I'm not.
Yeah,
This
no
is just a
duh.
free-
I could have told you that one.
So in the fifth spot, you know what? I'll make from here on out. We'll make the next two worth 2 points.
Why don't you do
Go
some
for
NFL
it.
Teams?
Go for it.
Because it's not the start of the NFL season.
The draft is next weekend. We're not doing a draft special.
Yeah, next
You're the
weekend.
host.
You almost like we have a podcast next week.
Yeah. Go.
Number 5, we have the Kansas City Scouts. The silence is deafening.
St. Louis Blues.
Incorrect.
Have we said this team?
Someone has. To be fair, you did just name off like half of them.
Yeah,
last
we named off the
segment.
entire league.
The Flames.
It's incorrect.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Incorrect.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
Washington Capitals.
Emily, any shot?
These are 5 teams I know. I'm just-
Who said Carolina Hurricanes?
Incorrect.
New Jersey Devils.
Is the New Jersey Devils.
Stupid. Why
We got 2 points.
So that is now 5.
Oh.
Why
So
don't you
now-
like step up and like
So now-
try to take them down?
So now this one
Hockey
is. So
fan.
this one is now all just for bragging rights.
Wait, what was the what was the original team
Why don't we
again?
put some marbles on this one?
The Kansas City
Scouts.
Scouts.
Okay.
Put some marbles. This is a 6-pointer.
6.
No, come on. Make
Go
are you-
for it.
Are
Oh,
you
go
scared?
for it. You're
Are you
gonna allow
scared?
it.
No,
You're-
I'm not allowing.
Okay.
No, what?
This
No,
is
come on,
this
give
is
me
all
the-
for. This is all
Give
for.
it a 5-pointer.
Okay, 5
Just
points
tie
to
it up.
tie. Okay,
Oh,
it's a
that's
tie.
wow.
Dude, I got the last 4 right.
So number 6, we have the New England Whalers.
That one is the Vancouver Canucks.
Incorrect.
No, it's not.
Washington Capitals.
Incorrect.
Boston Bruins.
Incorrect. They're one of the starting 6.
New York Rangers.
Incorrect.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Incorrect.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Incorrect.
New York Islanders.
It's incorrect. Y'all have said this team multiple
Carolina
times.
Hurricanes.
Is the Carolina
Let's
Hurricanes.
go!
Hey, she tied it up.
Nah, bro,
She
come
tied
on
it up.
now.
Nah, this is for the
Give me
win.
my high
This
five.
is for the win. No.
Crisp, clean high
I'll give you a
five.
crisp
Okay.
high five, and
Okay.
Emily, you'll get a knuckle.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
right.
Kay continues his run.
Shocker.
Metaphorical victory for Emily, who has to step out.
I
but-
feel like the Tampa Bay Lightning because I'm a dynasty here in this trivia game.
I wish I knew. what
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
I don't even know.
You
That
don't
had
even
no
get that
impact to
reference.
Grant.
You don't
That-
get that reference because you're uncultured.
that
Basically,
had
on the
no
Cowboys
impact.
of the '90s and the Patriots with Tom Brady.
Oh,
Let's put
my
it that
God.
way. Let's put
Oh
it that
my
way.
You're a
gosh.
nerd. So, yeah, I guess Cade wins. Cool. I felt bad for him. I kind of went hard on him last episode after I took a dub. But sorry for we had a short intermission.
Loses, then flexes his win last time.
Very short
you
information.
really are an Aggie.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Except they don't have
Uh,
any wins to flex. All right.
All right, let's move on because no one cares. Anyways,
Baseball. We're back to
we're
baseball.
back. Well, I was
So-
gonna mention Emily is gone. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've
she
seen
took a-
more.
she had to step
had
out.
Intermission. She just took a step. So it's just the 3 dudes now, the 3 OGs,
3 amigos.
and we're gonna get into some Kentucky baseball.
So Kentucky, a real surprise in the SEC this year. Really,
Mhm.
no one expected them to be like this. Number 11 in the country now. So I wrote the preview for it. Something I find really interesting. You want to guess what ranked in the SEC what their slugging percentage is?
3,
Oh,
2,
it's like
Nope.
1,
Isn't it like
Nope.
not
4.
good?
14.
They're 14th.
Wow.
You know what their batting average is?
Like
12. 4.
They're 4th.
That's wild. So they just single
they
a
get
bunch.
hits.
They just single.
They get hits. They have a guy hitting 370, Hunter Gilliam, and another guy who is Canadian and cannot pronounce his name, is hitting 377. Let me give it a shot. Let me give it a shot. Emilian Pitry. That's what I'm going to go with.
I feel like that's good.
It's probably completely wrong. He's French. He's from Quebec. Home
Well,
of the
if you look at
home of the Quebec Nordiques.
if you look at Kentucky's past few series, them and A&M are kind of like, so they lost 2-1-1 against LSU. They I think went 2-1 against Missouri. Look, I mean, it's really similar to A&M's past few series.
A little
Gotta
bit,
double
yeah.
check that.
Yeah,
I was looking at that and I was like, dude, this is gonna be a good little weekend matchup.
it is all
Oh, yeah.
going to be about.
And I've heard also the weather is going to be pretty garbage.
Yeah,
Really?
and also
In
they
Kentucky,
are not slackers pitching either. In fact, they are one of the better pitching teams.
Can
Let's
Kentucky
see.
just stick to like basketball or something like that?
I know.
I don't like all
Why do
these-
they feel like they need to be relevant in other sports? Like,
Yeah. I hate how teams like
I'm just
Arkansas,
kidding.
Alabama are just growing in other sports. I'm like, can you just
yeah,
stick with
just
the
stick
sport
to
you
your
got?
one.
You know, I mean, Arkansas, they used to not have a sport, and now they're like, I don't know what they're trying to do.
what do you mean?
over
You're the
there.
biggest Arkansas basketball fan there is.
Well, yeah, they're just not
So,
the.
Kentucky
Now they are.
ERA, they're fourth in the SEC. Opponent batting average, they are third in the SEC.
Oof.
Yeah, batters struck out. See, they don't. It's so interesting. They're so polarizing in everything. Like they're a very small ball kind of team. They have low ERA, low opponent batting average, but they are dead last in batters struck out. in
Like
the SEC.
they don't strike.
They're
people out.
14th in the SEC
So
in batters
they're a
struck
good
out.
Wow.
fielding team.
It's they're
In a
and
way.
then offensively they get hits, they don't get home runs, which is honestly kind of scary when you
Yeah.
look at like A&M is in terms of like
Boring as hell, they get the job done.
Is it bad that I'll be happy if we take one game from this series? this
no, I
weekend?
think that'll be big with the weather like this because they're gonna get hits on this A&M bullpen, and if A&M's offense can't make up for it, which it's looking like weather combined with how good Kentucky's pitching is, that's gonna be really hard because the pitching has not shown that they can win games themselves.
They
Right.
should just do a neutral site game and like,
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's the Royals. We can borrow
I
their
think-
place. That feels neutral.
yeah.
Schloss also mentioned that they'll be on turf as well.
Yeah,
that-
and turf
that will be
is
a little
turf.
bit of a-
But turf and baseball is a whole another can of worms.
yeah.
Do you
But
have any bad experiences on turf?
Not personally. I don't like. I definitely like playing on grass and dirt better, just because that's baseball and it has a lot more of effect with the ball bouncing as well. And plus, playing in Texas, they won't have this problem this weekend. But
Yeah.
playing on turf is hot.
Oh,
The
yeah.
turf gets
It makes
so
it,
hot.
yeah.
yeah, playing football and on turf is like you can feel the heat coming
Yeah.
off of
Because
the
it's like
field.
black beads.
Yeah.
it's
You know what I'm
rubber.
talking about? And it's just like, I don't even know. It's crazy hot. But yeah, it's gonna be a big series this weekend. Excited to watch it. They're on a good little run now. They are. I don't know if the weather will affect it, but
You want to talk about not sexy baseball?
what?
So here's the,
The
leaders. Here's the hey. You want to talk about Brewers look pretty sexy
Just
to me,
kidding,
baby.
dude. I'm playing with
Anyway.
you. The Astros is what we should be talking
Yeah,
about.
you want to
Yeah.
talk not sexy?
You mean the team that just lost to their in-state rival at home?
cringe?
we just beat
I was at the game on
Jays.
Friday, and it was awesome to see all those Astro tears
There
just
is-
walking out of
there
Minute
is
Maid,
some-
just
See, it's
straight
You're
up
not
pissed.
used to seeing that many people in the stadium, though. Huh?
There, surprisingly, it wasn't that packed. I was expecting more people for a team that just won the World Series on a Friday night with Framber Valdez bobblehead night, which I got. And
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not,
really
I'm
fun.
not, I'm
It's
not
really
ashamed.
fun.
I'm not ashamed to say that.
Did
I'm-
the stadium look really familiar to you? Since y'all just plagiarized the whole stadium.
It's
no,
re-
it
it's
was,
really fun being a
it
Brewers
didn't look
fan,
familiar,
and
and I
there's-
didn't really like it.
Rangers and Astros right here, and so I can just sit here and be a neutral party and watch this bicker fest, knowing that we just went 7-3 on the West Coast and going back home to play the Red Sox.
Yeah, hey, good luck to y'all. No
But
one cares.
you want to talk about hey, fear the beer, baby, let's go.
No,
So
they are
you want to talk
not
about not
ready.
sexy baseball. So number 3 in the SEC in sack bunts is Mississippi State. They have 12. Number 2 is Alabama with 14. Number 1 is Kentucky with 35.
Yeah, this is probably the most unintriguing baseball. team.
35 sacrifice bunts.
Oh, they like to bunt.
35. That is more than double the team
Yeah,
second.
if I was a fan of this team, I would hate it because
I mean, they're winning.
I hate bunts. I
And they're
know.
winning.
I know, but bunts still frustrate me.
And they're also
You
number
were
1
a
in
big Kent Murphy guy growing up.
I
Did you
love
like
Kent Murphy. I love.
they're
Kent
also
Murphy.
number 1 in stolen bases as well.
That's
Interesting.
interesting. I like that.
So they are
So Hank Bard and Max Coffer.
they
better
are
get
the
ready.
epitome of small ball. they are like Kentucky is small ball.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a lot of hit and runs.
There's going to be a lot of hit and runs, stolen bases, bunts. It's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of consistent 1-1, 2-1, 1 innings across the board.
Speaking of, you mentioned Mississippi State. Y'all see their rotation last weekend?
I didn't.
Their dude that throws both arms. So they showed.
Was that real? I thought that was a joke.
He throws left.
I know
on
he
Friday,
throws both, but I
and
thought
he
that was a joke.
The righty Saturday.
No shot.
Yeah, dude's a beast. I mean,
How did I
he's the
not
only
see
good,
this?
He's the only good.
I knew he
person
did that. I just didn't know they start him on multiple days.
No,
That's
I
wild.
didn't believe it either, and I looked. And
That is wild.
I mean, they're trash. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't have
they're
that
not-
much pitching.
they're not that
and
good.
they literally have that dude. He can throw 95 with both arms.
That is wild.
Dude, imagine the amount
I
of
wish.
training you got to go through. That's just unreal. But yeah, I mean.
Also, this is just a random stat, but we have A&M is leading the SEC in grounding into double plays with 31.
Jeez.
like
Kentucky-
hitting.
Where'd you find
Yeah.
that stat?
They have you can find all kinds of useful stats. It's not pretty. You
Where
gotta kinda
at?
dig around. If you just look up, ESPN has an archive that
I got
they categorize it. And Kentucky is last in the SEC in hitting in double
Of
plays,
course.
which is interesting when you that's where that running and stealing bases and bunting goes into place. To putting
Exactly.
runners on second and keeping them
Right.
off first.
Yeah.
So Kentucky's going to be a very interesting, very, very, very interesting series. If pitching can pitch, pitching will have to do better. Pitching will have to do more than just enough.
We always talk about pitching.
Yeah, and I would say in previous series, all pitching had to do was just enough because the hitting was there. This is going to be a really hard hitting weekend. Pitching
So
is
they have to do a
going.
little more.
Pitching is going to have to do more than they have. I'll say, as of right
I feel
now,
like we've been saying this
all
every
year.
week, though.
yeah, pitching is the main issue. But I want to get to another issue. So
But,
let's hear this hot take, Cade.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, unfortunately, Emily had to leave because she was going to back me up on this one.
Oh,
you're
I talked to her about it yesterday at the baseball game, and she agreed. But I'm still going to give it. I feel like this is the most the Home Turf podcast has ever talked about hockey.
I don't like it. I don't like what it's become. That's
What do you mean? What it's
What's
become?
become?
it's
Ice.
a hockey podcast.
Oh, I got.
Oh, I
you.
thought you meant what hockey's become. He doesn't like that they put it on ice.
Yeah.
Anyways, my hot take this week is that, in honor of my Dallas Stars in the playoffs, unlike Emily's Blackhawks, the NHL playoffs are more entertaining and interesting to watch than the NBA playoffs.
There's so many things wrong with that, and Hunter, what do you think about that?
I mean,
Before
all you gotta
go
do
in?
is just watch the Kings play
Oh my
game
gosh.
1 of win the first win their first playoff game since
See it,
2006.
just
and,
watching De'Aaron Fox eat, it's just so satisfying.
But it's all chalk. You know who's going to win every single matchup. I think the only matchup
If you
right
would've
now
told me
that
the Kings were going to be up 2-0 on the Warriors,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
no.
I'd
The
buy you
3
more.
seed up on the 6 seed? Wow. What do you mean? I would totally have told you.
Yeah,
that-
you could have told me
I
that.
could have told you the Kings would be up 2-0.
That Malik
It's
Monk
all
was gonna
chalk.
go on a freaking
It's
tear.
all chalk. The NHL playoffs
To
is
an
the closest.
average NBA fan, to an average basketball fan, the one time that they watch NBA NBA is during the playoffs. Because, you have a long season. You could say that some people sit out a lot, that some people, don't watch half of it. It doesn't matter. When the playoffs come for the NBA, everyone's watching. It's interesting. It's
Are
awesome.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everybody watching? I'm not so sure about that.
I'm telling you, no one's watching the Stanley Cup
I-
right now.
I don't know about that.
Old Stanley.
All I'm
Old-
saying
The old
is
Stanley Cup.
the
Family
NHL
kit.
is the closest. Like the NHL playoffs is the closest professional playoff
to
that comes
softball.
close to. Wow. That comes close to March Madness. I'm not saying it's as.
my
Listen! I know y'all are gonna freak out. I know y'all are gonna freak out after
Jesus
that.
Christ,
I'm
dude.
talking about the upsets because anything can happen when it comes playoff time in the NHL. The 8 seed will beat the 1 seed on a regular basis.
hockey
On a
requires no
regular
skill,
basis.
dude.
Whoa.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
If you can
This guy
skate
is a
the
hater.
puck,
This guy is a
dude,
5-star
great.
hater right
How
now.
can you be a great?
You're a
at hockey?
5-star hater.
How can you be a great at hockey? Tell me.
You have good puck
Oh.
skills. You're a good skater. Okay, look at you over here. You're a 5-star hater.
I'm sorry. Yes, I am.
Dude, the NBA
Yeah, how
is,
you can even
the
compare
NBA
to
is
the
just
NBA
so
playoffs
boring right now. It's boring. I promise you.
Dude, last
The
year's
NHL is better.
playoffs with the Grizzlies and Timberwolves
That was nuts, yeah.
was freaking nuts. I mean, the Heat. Oh my gosh.
The
dude.
Mavericks made it to the conference finals.
I did like that. I did
Yeah, I bet
enjoy
you
it.
did.
I
I
bet
did
you
enjoy
did
it.
like
Cherry
it.
picker.
But
Freaking cheap.
I would have enjoyed for the Stars to go deeper. I'm
The
sorry.
The Mavs
Well,
didn't
I
make the
take that
playoffs
back.
this year,
I
so
like
that's
the
why.
Mavericks. I like the Mavericks more than I
We're
like the
listening
Stars,
to
but
this.
I like the NHL playoffs in total more than the NBA playoffs. Just it's more
I mean,
entertaining to me.
I will concede the NHL.
You'll
does-
see
What's a bunch of
fights
dudes-
in the NBA like they be fighting in the NHL.
I mean, Draymond Green stomped
I
on
mean, he
people's
just stomped on
Okay,
a dude's
yeah, like that
chest.
was that was so stupid, dude. Like, first of all, I'm gonna defend Draymond a little bit. Sabonis should not have been grabbing his leg like that. And then, but yeah, the stomp was a little bit extra.
You're talking a lot about the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I've seen about it, really. Just kidding. I've watched.
Russell Westbrook's tear?
No, I've watched it. I know. I saw that block against Devin Booker. It was pretty sick.
It was sick.
But I will watch
You
the
got,
NBA.
you got a sick ass
I-
first round
it's
series between the Suns
Nothing
and the
against the
Clippers
NBA
right now.
playoffs, but NHL is just more entertaining to me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'd rather watch grass grow than a bunch of grown men skate around and dance. If I want to
Look.
go, I'll go watch I, Tanya.
Look,
again.
I'm not a- I'm not a hockey player, so I'm not gonna get offended by this. But if we have any hockey listeners, they're all pissed at you right now.
Dang, yeah, and dude,
I'm
Emily
from
was here.
Texas, dude. I
If
don't
Emily
watch
was
hockey.
here,
I don't
she's
like
friends with like
hockey.
everyone of the A&M hockey team players. This is like work for the team. She's gonna send this specifically to them.
You're like Stephen A. Smith right now, just hating on hockey.
And you're like, oh my god, this dude's always arguing with. Oh,
I don't know.
The
If you can name me one analyst that talks hockey.
No, it was the Cowboys homer that Stephen A. Smith always argues with. His name's eluding me. They always bicker with each other.
It's not Michael Irvin, is it?
No.
Wait, who you
It's
talking
the
about?
white
Marcus
guy.
Spears, the white guy.
Oh, JJ Redick?
No.
He's not a
That
Cowboy
Stephen
guy.
A. Smith always arguing with.
Oh, Dog, Mad Dog. They call him Mad Dog.
Oh my god, what is this? I gotta look this up.
Look at Stephen A. Smith, Mad Dog. I think that's the guy you're talking about. I don't know his real name. But he always comes in and says the most out-of-pocket shit.
It's not Skip Bayless. They used to bicker back and forth, but
Oh man.
Honestly,
He's not on First
no
Take
one
anymore.
cares about the
I don't know, man.
Seahawks. If
I'd
the
throw it
Dallas
on.
win,
I'd
I'll
throw
be
it-
happy, but
I'd throw it on and give it a chance. Just see what it's like.
See,
dude,
my
I'll
That's
tell
all I
you
gotta
one thing,
say.
the games are long.
For what?
I didn't think
Hockey?
For hockey? Dude, you have
No.
one quarter in intermission. Second quarter.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
how
but
long...
it's-
Third quarter.
Yes, but those it's
You
there's
think
not
you
a
got
lot of
two intermissions.
there's not a lot of stoppage. There's not a lot of stoppages in the period. It's the games are run about the same or a little bit
They're
a
about
little
to
bit
have
more than
3
the
hours.
NBA.
Dude, I was the one
So is the
time,
NBA.
The one time I did a prize
The-
picks on hockey, I
Like-
was trying to keep up with it, and dude, it went on for 4 hours. Dude, I'm
Well,
not
I will say,
trying to
I
can
did.
happen.
I did cover a hockey.
Watch
game.
some
one
watch
thing I
some
do
overtime
hate-
hockey.
Oh, one thing I do hate: how do you decipher between a shots on goal and a shots miss?
What do you mean?
Like,
A shot on goal if it hits the goalie or if it hits the goal, and a
If it
shot
hits the
missed
goal.
if it hits the goalie or if it hits like the pipes.
okay, and what's a shots miss?
You miss it completely. You
Dude,
miss
they
the
be
goalie.
changing the stats all the time. They'll put a shots on goal near the end of the game. They'll go back and switch it to a shots miss, and I get
Sucks.
screwed.
Maybe you shouldn't be gambling, you degenerate.
So
Anyways,
that
that
was
hot
a
take
that was a
sucked.
hot take.
Yeah.
That was
whatever.
a hot take, but your take was stupid. It wasn't even.
Throw it
like-
on. Throw it
If
on.
you compare to
Watch some overtime hockey, then talk to me.
if you compare the number of viewers of the NBA playoffs right now to the hockey, it'd be like comparing the number of people who watch, I don't know, the Super Bowl and your little cousin's ballerina recital.
You have the stats to prove that? I mean, I
I'm sure I
don't.
get a good crowd there. I'm sure.
Look, my little
But-
cousin's ballerina recital it's no joke. It's fun to go to.
Oh yeah, because they're
Yeah,
dancing just
It's
like
better
the
than
ice hockey
it's better than
players.
going to watch the who's the 1 seed in the West? The Nuggets beat up on the Timberwolves. It's gonna be a sweep, just like
Ooh.
every conference, every first round series is. It's always a sweep. Watch, the Sixers are gonna sweep the Nets. Boring. There are no sweeps when it comes to the NHL.
Yeah,
Every
you gotta just be
single
sweeping
game.
a little puck around.
But
that's
hey,
it.
you know who's
It looks like a bunch of
the
cleaning
number one
ladies
seed
out
in the
there
East?
Yeah, your Milwaukee Bucks. Hey, didn't y'all
Giannis
lose
is
though?
out.
Didn't we just like smoke the Heat by like 30
Y'all
points?
did, but y'all
last
lost
game?
game 1.
And y'all,
Oh, see, so we're not just the one seed's not gonna get sweep.
Because y'all lost Giannis.
Oh, okay. See.
they lost Giannis and then won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can you chalk that up?
Oh.
They lost Giannis and lost.
Yeah, but then he
No.
didn't play game 2 either, and we won by 30 points.
Well, the Heat lost Tyler Hero.
Okay. Oh yeah. I forgot.
You know,
Yeah.
Hey,
The Kentucky freak, Tyler Hero.
all right, I'm gonna wrap it up on that. I have a big announcement. This episode 37 this is going to be my last episode on the Home Turf podcast.
All hockey fans just rejoiced.
Yeah, I think they're cheering. This is my biggest accomplishment in college, in high school, in my life. The first thing that I've started and grown. It means the world to me, this podcast, and I'm excited to see what y'all do with it. Hunter and Cade, y'all gonna be the next co-host of the Home Turf podcast. It has
Holding the crown.
It's only 37 episodes. Doesn't seem a lot, but we've been through a lot. When I first started this, I don't know if y'all know how I started. So they originally had a Home Turf podcast. They made one episode and they read it. They had scripts.
Ooh.
They read it off. It was these three. It was Jenny Streeter, Casey Stavenhagen, and one more person. And they had scripts and they had to read by the script. Ron Faulkner, he asked me. He was like, and it was Ron Faulkner. Ron, he was like, asked me, he was like, hey, you want to come on our next podcast? I was like, yeah, sure. It's just going to be me and you. So me and him talked. We went through it. Did no script. At the end of the episode, he gave me the keys. And I restarted from episode 1. And started the Home Turf podcast. And if you go back and listen to the first podcast, I was awful. I was so nervous. It wasn't flowing. And since then, I've been through Ron. Kay Nagley was on this podcast. We made a lot of episodes. Jordan, and then now y'all two. And I feel like Dirk Nowitzki retiring.
You almost made it to 41.
I almost
That
made
would've
it to
been-
41.
that would've been-
been cool to get
yeah.
on. But 37.
Welcome
hey,
to episode
retired-
40. Episode 41 of the.
He
Home
retired
Turf
as
podcast.
Lester Hayes.
Yeah.
And the bootleg Jimmy Johnson.
Kmart Jimmy Johnson. I'm excited to see what y'all do with it. I want y'all to promise me one thing. Episode 50, call me.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I want to be here for episode 50 as a special guest.
Word.
100%.
That's it. I'm excited to see what y'all do with it. Y'all gonna win so many awards. I'm already just listening from what Hunter's telling me, from you're telling me. Y'all have a lot of plans. I'm excited to see what y'all do with it. I'm ready for y'all to take it to the next level. I'm leaving the Battalion too. I will no longer be a sports editor here. My writing's done. And that'll be it. I mean, I never joined an organization. I don't know if y'all are in any organizations or anything.
This
like
is
that.
it.
The one.
This is it, dude, y'all. I joined this organization. I made so many friends, so many memories. No men's org fraternity could compare to this.
Real.
This is real. These are guys you work together, you put out stuff, you travel with. Y'all gonna make so many memories. I'm excited. I'm gonna come by a few times. I'm ready to see y'all's work. This whole, I want to thank the Battalion, thank Kyle for giving me the equipment and anything I needed. I want to thank y'all too for coming on and just bringing y'all's personalities, man. I love y'all. You're all my boys, and I love this podcast. And I'm gonna wrap it up on that. Big GG signing out.
G Money.
Gig 'em.
Dig 'em.
T's
Later.
and G's.
Hey Aggies, make sure to go to ridehitch.com. It's like Uber, but also for longer distances. Enjoy 30% off your first 4 rides using code AggieNews4. Remember, that's AGGIE News 4. Make sure to go to ridehitch.com, use the code, and enjoy 30% off your first tour ride.